Hi everyone, I'm Hannah and welcome to our 31 days of aerial yoga. So every single day of March, we're going to come to you on YouTube and bring you a brand new class. And it's just going to be a few different poses so you can get to know all the different variations of different kinds of poses that there are in aerial yoga. Today we're going to start with a few grounding poses. I really love to begin a class this way, down on the ground, getting in tune with our bodies and getting ready for the rest of the class. So having our hammock at about hip height, so just underneath the hip bones, or it can be a little bit lower for these few poses. So we're going to start in a nice seated position with our feet touching and our knees wide. So we're coming to our bound angle pose. So we can bring our knees wide, your feet can be a little bit further out or a little bit further in, just as long as both sit bones are nicely on the ground and you're feeling comfortable. I'm going to splay out those feet so they're opening like a book. I'm going to bring our hands into the fabric. So our hands are in a prayer in front of us. We're going to inhale and exhale. We're going to extend it forward. So we're going to bring our chest forward, trying to keep that spine elongated and keep our knees splaying wide. So try not to bring the knees up. Try to keep them wide, bring our chest forward, and we can release the head between the arms and reaching it out. So in this pose, there's a few different variations. I really like to start a sweep from side to side, starting to get the stretch along our shoulders. So it's a really nice pose to begin with and get your body ready. Obviously this opening up the hips. And we're elongating the spine, reaching it forward. Try not to drop our neck all the way down, but we try to keep it in alignment. So feel a really beautiful stretch along the side body as we come all the way to one side. And then as we come all the way to the other. So in this pose, there's a few options. We can add a pulse forward and back, trying to keep the spine long and straight. Just bringing our chest forward and reaching the arms out. Breathe it in and exhale it out. And then our other option is to sweep it all the way over to one side, all the way to the other, so we can feeling it all along our side body. It's a really beautiful stretch. It's a really nice way to begin a class, to begin your day. All the way to one side, all the way to the other, creating that movement and that flow. Breathing it in, exhaling it out. And reach it forward. Letting the head go just a little bit, reaching those hands out to the opposite wall. And then slowly roll it back up. So that's our first variation. This is bound angle pose, forward fold. Another variation of this one is to add out our straddle. So obviously in this one we're strengthening our legs and obviously working into our hamstrings and our hip flexors in this one. So keeping our knees up to the ceiling, our feet engaged, so either flexed or pointed, whatever works best for you. Really trying to engage the thighs down towards the ground. And we can add our hands into the fabric and exhale it forward. Really, again, trying not to curve the spine here, trying to bring our chest forward and reach out with our hands. So if you have really flexible students in your class, or you personally are really flexible, this pose may not feel like a huge amount to them, but it's also a really nice stretch and a way to start the class before going into more flexible poses. So obviously it depends on people's flexibility, but we can always bring our feet to 90 degrees if that feels better for them, or if they have more flexibility or you have more flexibility, you can always bring your legs out to more of a split if you have worked up to that for that day. So extending the arms out, reaching the chest towards the ground. Again, you can add in those pulses forward and back, making sure to bring the knees up towards the sky, engaging those thighs down towards the ground. Or we can sweep all the way to one side, and all the way to the other. Inhale and exhale. And another option is to come all the way over to one side and release your left hand. So you come all the way to your left side, release your left hand, and sweep that right arm up and over, eyes gaze towards that hand. And reach it down. So this just brings a bit more of a stretch along the side body here. And again, we're bringing our chest towards the ceiling instead of facing the leg. You can do either or, but making sure that you're not kind of somewhere in between. So we're really trying to bring ourselves towards the ceiling in a little bit of a twist, or you can readjust, bring your torso towards the leg and reaching it out. This one's a bit less of a stretch along the side body. This one will be the stretch. And always remembering to do the other side. So coming over to the right, bring your right hand down, or it can be in front, and sweeping that left hand up over, eyes gaze towards the hand or the ceiling, and turning our torso. Or readjusting, bringing our torso towards that leg, reaching it out for a little bit of a variation. And inhale, let's bring it back up. So these are two of our variations. I'm going to bring our legs together. And we're going to come onto our knees. So a few options with this one. You either have your feet just directly underneath your bottom, or if you have a little bit more flexibility, you can bring your feet out to the sides. So coming into a slightly different variation. And here, option to bring your hands into that prayer, or to bring our wrap on. So for this wrap that we'll be doing for multiple classes in these 31 days, we bring our hands around the front of the fabric, coming into a prayer, cut through the middle, and then place our hands onto the fabric and rolling it down. So this is our easy wrap pose. So again, option to have your feet just sitting on your feet, or bring your feet out to the side into this variation. Up to you. So for this one, I'm just gonna bring my feet underneath my butt. Inhale and exhale, release it forward, release the chest. This one you can release the neck and bending in the arms or extending the arms out, depending how much of a stretch you would like along your upper back and your shoulders and your arms. And again, option to add that side sway from side to side, or come to the center and add a pulse, or you can go extend and bend, extend and bend. So a few different options here. Really stretching along the shoulders. As we release down, this one's also quite a heart opener, opening up our chest. Really beautiful stretch. And let's roll it all the way back up, and you can release your hands. So that was our first day one of our 31 days. So just a few really nice grounded poses to get you ready for whatever class you're doing, or just to get you ready for the next 31 days. So we'll see you back here tomorrow for day 2. Thanks, guys.